Well, hey there, Lashpreneurs. Today we're going to talk about how I girl bossed a little too close to the sun and signed up for my first CrossFit competition after only having done CrossFit for 4 months, but really more seriously 2 months. And this is a little early to be competing, but this is relevant to you and mindset because that has everything to do with what we're going to talk about on today's episodes, which is focusing on the journey, not the results. So let's dive into it. Yeah, I started CrossFit very, very loosely. Was invited by a friend in May of this year. It is now end of September. And really for the past 2 months, I've been going 4 days a week. Why? Well, CrossFit's really cool in that there's community already built into it. So that was primary motivation. That, and I am an avid yoga goer nowadays, but was looking to change my body composition. Now, for those of you that are newer to me and haven't been around the last 2 years, you may not know by the way I look online now that I used to be 40 pounds heavier. That's right. I was not the prime model of fitness at any point in my, well, maybe basketball in high school, but after that, it's just been kind of downhill. So I was 40 pounds heavier than I am now. So working out has not always been my passion. It's not always been something I've enjoyed. In fact, it just is laughable that I'm even associated with CrossFit. That's how different it is. So don't worry, you don't have to love CrossFit to get value from this episode, but I drank the Kool-Aid and here we are. So what does this have to do with mindset? So this competition is a team competition, and everybody on my team has been doing this longer than I have. In fact, most people in the competition have been CrossFit for years, sometimes even decades. And here my little naive little butt comes in. I'm like, cool, I'll do it. Let's work out for 4 hours in really high intensity levels and see what happens. Now, yes, I am fully planning on spending the evening in the hospital. I've cleared my schedule for the evening of to be able to have an IV in the ER if needed. But really why I signed up for it is because it wasn't like I'm looking to win. In fact, well, I don't know. I don't know how well my team is. They're pretty good. Maybe they'll win and I'll just be like the best cheerleader for the winning team and I'll get, the participation trophy as it is. But really it was more so because of the experience of it. And that is very much a thread that has helped me to reach really cool, amazing results in business and in life because I am more focused on the experience and what may come my way through the experience rather than being so attached to the result. That's how this applies to both you and your personal life and you and your business. Where most people I find that have been doing this a while, right? Have been running a business for a while, have been trying to do something for a while. They're so focused on the result that they don't have the lack, the scarcity, hyper fixated on there not being enough, or they don't have the money, or they don't have the clients, or they don't have the house, or whatever the result or the goal is. And I find that anytime we're placing a lot of importance, meaning, value on something external to us, we actually get further and further away from it. And there's some law of attraction stuff in there, but I'm just kind of speaking from my own personal experience in that anytime that I've tried to reach a goal that I thought would make me feel a certain way, I tend to have the opposite experience. And it can be really frustrating that you're like, God, I just want to get to this like milestone marker. And yet I keep hitting the same one and I just can't get past it. What's wrong with me? And, maybe if I try this and I'm trying 70 different things and I just still am not getting to that goal or that result or that thing. And most of us, and in fact, I'd say all of us are looking to achieve something external. I'm just going to use business in this case, like, a 6-figure business or a multi-6-figure business or a 7-figure business or building out a team or, taking a vacation or buying a car or buying a house, all of this stuff that's external to us, hoping that we get an internal feeling from that thing or from that result or from that milestone or from that goal. And here's the biggest hack that I can't believe that this is not something that is more widely commonly known and accepted. That internal feeling that you think that external thing is going to get you, it's impossible to have any sort of long-term lasting impact of feeling that way when we are dependent on something outside of us. Meaning, if you're more focused on the result than you are on who you're becoming on the journey and becoming the person that can have that result, you've missed the point completely. And if I could summarize the hell that I've been through over the past few years, And how I've been able to maintain a business and a life, and actually have been the happiest I've ever been, and be a single mom, and go to CrossFit 4 days a week, and be financially stable, and all of the things that I've endured, that I haven't shared everything publicly, but I'm able to still show up. It's because I'm more excited about who I am and who I'm becoming, even when it's tough, even when the external results aren't where I want them to be, even when I'm struggling, because I know that I have enough experience in my life, and maybe just haven't had enough experiences, but that my pain serves a purpose. And I choose to live in a life where pain has purpose. So even when I shut the business down a couple of years ago, I was very aware that even the pain and the heartache of doing that, and some of the embarrassment or shame that I might have had around that, I was like, but I'm going to help people with this experience, because I know a lot of people are tempted to shut down their business. I think, you're probably not playing a big enough game if you don't want to shut down your business at least once a year. I still go through swings where I'm like, screw it, I'm done. And then I go to bed, and then I wake up the next morning, I'm like, well, maybe not today. But it is all about who you're becoming along the way. So the thing that keeps me going, the phrase that I say a lot, that I think all the time, is I'm either going to get the result I want or the lesson I need, but either way I win. Because it would be foolish of you to think that you could have a result that is way out of your comfort zone, or way beyond something that you've ever done or even thought was possible, and thinking that the person that you are now is going to be the person that has that result. If whatever you want is outside of your comfort zone, then you're not the person yet who can have that result, because you are in your comfort zone. The person that has the result that you're looking at is outside of their comfort zone. Therefore, you have to grow outside of your comfort zone. And most people don't want to do that. Why? Because of the known. Your comfort zone, as miserable as it may be, is known to you. You have an element of control, even if you're suffering. And when you can start to get to the present, like present to the choices that you have in your everyday life, of either pushing yourself outside of the comfort zone, so you actually have a chance to get that thing that's outside of your comfort zone, and have the results and the experiences and the journey and all that kind of stuff of playing a different game than your average human being, well, then you got to get real comfortable playing outside of your comfort zone, which is exactly why I signed up for a CrossFit competition, even though I probably have no business doing that, but I'm there for the experience because it's out of my comfort zone. And I have made it my life's work to get out of my comfort zone, because when I am full of excuses of all the reasons why I can't do things and why things aren't working, I'm miserable. I do not enjoy my life when I'm focusing on everything that I don't have, and all the results that I don't have, and how much it sucks, and da 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 da. But the beauty about at least the last 4 months with CrossFit specifically is when there's a lot of chaos going on, either personal life or business, that has been one thing that I could pour myself into and control and make choices, because a lot of the things that were causing me struggles over the past few months have been things that I don't have control over. And so in some area of my life, I could work on something like building muscle, right? I could work on squatting heavier. I could work on learning how to do like a hang clean squat kind of a thing. I mean, I don't even know what they're called. I just kind of run around and throw heavy weights around that they tell me to throw. But I am more for the journey of who I'm becoming. And guess what ends up happening? And this whole conversation was inspired because I posted a video on Instagram stories with my daughter and I dancing to like silly TikTok video stuff. And I got a lot of comments of like, you look amazing. Oh my God, your legs. And there's a lot of tone to my legs. And you know, what's cool is like, I've been so focused on the journey, I've also gotten the results. Like, I'm in the best shape of my life. That's not why I'm doing it. I'm more focused on the fun, the challenge. It's always different. It's always stimulating me. I'm getting stronger, right? I'm having more muscle developed, but I'm not focused on my body looking a certain way or me having to be a number on a scale. In fact, the number on the scale is going the opposite direction right now because I'm building muscle, and muscle weighs more than fat. So if I'm so focused on the result, like, oh, I have to do this to lose weight, and I have to look a certain way, and I have to look good in a bikini or whatever people do to like lose weight, I'd miss out on the point completely. Or it would be temporary, that it wouldn't be sustainable. But when you focus less on the results and that milestone, and you focus more on the journey of who you're becoming, especially when it comes to business, you will find that you will have more results than you could have controlled when all you were focusing on is the end result. But you won't care about the results as much. Why? because you're going to love the journey that you're on and who you're becoming as a part of that, even when there's pain, even when there's challenge, even when there's struggle, even when there's heartbreak, right? And this has bled across every aspect of my life and looking at my life through the journey, because we're all trying to rush, right? We're all trying to get to the destination and the result that we think is going to make us less miserable. But here's the thing, you take you with you. If your main focus is money, money only enhances who you already are inside. So if you're not doing the work to be happy on the inside, money sure as heck ain't gonna help with that. And you have evidence of that by all of these celebrities and multimillionaires who are suicidal, kill themselves, or into drugs. You know, their divorce rate, I don't think, is any different than the average human who isn't multimillionaires, because it just enhances who you already are. It doesn't fix who you are, right? Happiness is an internal game. And if we continue to rely on things outside of us to be happy, healthy, whole, stable, safe, secure, then we are in a pretty precarious little state that we actually can't maintain that happiness, that safety, that stability, because our external environment will constantly change. But who you are on the inside, who you will always be, goes with you everywhere you go. And this was actually from my business coach, James, who's been the most influential person in my life. I kind of learned this from him. He said, you know, when things were going really hard in business, I kind of had to connect in with my purpose. And I thought, you know, if everything got taken away from me, if, let's say, my freedom was taken away and I was put into prison, I'd still be doing the same thing I was doing. I'd be creating impact in other people's lives. And I very much resonate with that. Even my students will sometimes hear me say, you know, if I was put into prison, I'd still be teaching, you know, Big Bertha over there in the corner how to run a business when she gets out of here. You know, like, I'd still be inspiring and impacting women with mindset and perspective shifts. And if they want to run a business, we'd talk that too. So it doesn't matter what that looks like in the external world, because it's part of my purpose, right? It's part of the journey that I want to help create change and impact, right? And so when you can focus in on who you are becoming along this journey called life, you're going to find that the results that you're so desperate for now just happen to fall in place, or you don't care about them anymore. They don't define you. They don't affect you in the same way that you wish they would, because you're already good with yourself. And that's a big journey to go on. And it's a lot of self-love. It's a lot of healing. It's a lot of untangling childhood stuff. It's a lot of the work that we do inside of our programs and with the coaching that I do. You know, I'll sell you into building a team and learning how to market, but really we're going to work on what's between the ears because that's what's made the biggest difference in how I operate, and the biggest difference in how I see my life, and the biggest difference of why people call me magnetic. Right? I've had that said to me so many times. If we've ever met in person, maybe you've experienced that, but I'm magnetic because I just don't operate the same way that everybody else does. I have a very different way of looking at life through the lens of who I'm becoming, the journey I'm on. And so I'm far less attached to the end results. So whether I have $50,000 in debt or $50,000 in sales doesn't change the safety and stability that I feel inside, right? Because those things change. You could have the best month you've ever had next month. You could have the worst month you've ever had next month. And you can choose to be fine either way. You've already lived through all of your hardest days. What's to say you won't live through this one too, you know? So that's really what I wanted to share today, was really focusing on the journey of who you're becoming and not the results. If you can be detached from the results, that they don't define you, they don't define your self-worth. Yes, money can make things easier, but it doesn't define you. Money is an energy. It comes and goes, but really you trying to force more money only means that you have to continue that energy and that forcing long-term to keep that money. And I would rather operate from a place where money doesn't define me, that there's more impact that drives me. And guess what? The result shows up. Just like me going to CrossFit. I'm not there to have the most toned body ever. And yet that is what's ending up happening, is that tone, and I'm building muscle. Same thing that you can be doing with your brain. So focus on the journey of who you're becoming and not the results. Because guess what? If you're racing to get to the results, we're all going to end up in the same place, 6 feet underground. You know, there's no getting out of this life alive. So we might as well enjoy the journey along the way. And that is my parting words for you guys. All right, guys, have a good one, and we'll talk to you soon.